Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Kojimo here, back with another video. Today we are going to be working with a player who only has 200 hours inside of the game. He is extremely talented, and I'm so excited for you guys to see the session that I did with him. If you're new to the game or have a friend that is new to the game, send this video to them because you are going to learn so much from not only this video, but we have another session with him that will be in tomorrow's video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on my uploads. And guys, if you want your own coaching, please fill out the form in the description down below because I want to work with you and I want to help you take your game to the next level. One thing I'm going to tell you on Pistron here, and it's going to be hard at the beginning because your teammates are also going to do the wrong thing. Are you queued with any of these guys?
No, I was totally queuing.
We never on Pistron, CT or T side, want to save any money other than the $150. So like these guys are doing it right, like these guys right here, this guy's doing it wrong, and then you guys are doing it wrong. While it might make sense to like be like, oh, we want to build our economy for the second round if we lose or not, pistol rounds are so important in this game. And if you're gonna get nades, like, you know, buy down nades all the way, like get that smoke, you know, maybe get a kit or something. But in this situation, you're almost always better off just getting armor. I like nade, honestly too, like a nade on pistol round is not necessarily very useful. If you are gonna get utilized, say a smoke and a molly, and like it's gonna suck because at the beginning a lot of your players are gonna be doing this, so it's not obvious that that's a mistake. But like if you watch pro games, 0% of the time they'll ever like leave money left over on pistol round like that, because like yeah. And then also just specifically for this nade, when we're throwing it, never do this because it's just not gonna ever do much damage. Like that's gonna do like maybe one damage, right? If you are gonna nade, do kind of what these guys did and nade down here and get behind cover. Like this is bad because they're out in the open. This is a little better. This guy that threw it back here and something like this. So yeah, definitely something good there. And then here, a little micro thing I want you to really get good at. This is great, right? Like you're trying to fight this. That's really good. But don't swing so far that you're going to expose yourself to the entire ramp, which in this situation, right, there's like 4 guys aiming at you. The ideal thing for you to do, and this isn't just an ancient thing, this is just Counter-Strike any map you're playing. If I'm swinging ramp here, I'm swinging and, you know, maybe I'm jiggling a little bit, but I'm only swinging to like half the ramp or a quarter of it. If nobody's there, we swing farther, right? But if someone's there, now we get to take that 1v1, or if we're a little unlucky, maybe a 1v2, 1v3, but at least gives us the ability to get out.
Yeah.
And so like ultimately that is what went wrong with like that death right there. It's essentially you swung into the entire team, right? Yeah, you swung way too hard. Yep. Because like also you got to read the radar. So that's one thing that you're going to really have to develop as a player in this game is like your teammates speaking here. All of this information's on your radar. Like you should be seeing pretty much all of these guys, all of these dots, right? So in my head, if I'm seeing that, I'm like, okay, maybe I do want to fight them. But again, like, you know, be really cognizant with how much we're opening ourselves up. And that'll help you, bro, on like pistol round, rifle rounds, when you have the op. That like genuinely, if that's a skill that if you can continue to develop and stuff, you'll easily start to see a lot of progress within your premier rating and just your overall skill. All right, we save here. And again, also like, oh sorry, tapped out. Read kind of like what our teammates are doing here. So our teammates actually forced. So honestly, like I think you should force with them here just to get like a consistent buy going. It's not bad to save it all, but when the whole team is like, you know, most of the team is buying, it's probably worth it just to buy with them. Yeah, and then you can see in hindsight. Yep, and that's one of them where you do it, and then in the game you're like, oh, bro, I shouldn't have done that, right? Like you're screwed here. Like you're absolutely screwed. But you know, just like next time, just fight it. Just fight and see how much damage you can do.
Yeah, that's what like I was talking about beforehand. Like it sort of just doesn't click until I'm in that position, and it's like, damn, I like just did this beforehand.
Bro, and I mean that's how we're gonna learn, man. Like honestly, the more mistakes we're making, but we can actually catch it, and we can actually be like, okay, like look, I made that mistake, and you know, for the future now, I'm gonna try my hardest to learn from that and not do that anymore. Will be so good for you. It'll be huge. Yep, read the body language, and like you can even see there, even on the gun round, you kind of did it right. So I really want you to get cognizant of like you jiggle and it's like super like close. And I'll get into the server and show you exactly what I mean. And I'm sure you can imagine. Okay, here. I like the idea like that I really love that you're thinking about util. I really love that. When you specifically throw this flash as these people are scaling out, it's not really going to do anything unless they're literally like all the way up here, right? In this situation, if like we think that the guys are scaling out onto A site from here, which is very common, this is gonna happen to you a lot. You're better off just peeking out here, like out here, like this, getting into these angles and peeking, right? And then use your flash if you get like stuck. Like say you get stuck here, just use your flash as a way to kind of get out or something. But I do like that you're thinking about Util. Yeah, I like that you're thinking about it. Nice. And actually, one thing that you naturally did really well here, when you were killing this guy, right? You were starting to get exposed to that guy, and as you're shooting, you were moving to the left. And what did that naturally do? It put this wall between this guy, right? So
yeah,
think about that as much as you can in these gunfights, because that is how you're going to multi-frag. You're shooting, like there's two people that you peek into. We make a decision if we're going to move left or right to isolate one of those fights. It's something like when we're behind pillars, like or like boxes like this. It's so good to do that. Isolate, 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 isolate. Right. So love that. That was really good.
Yeah, I've seen like, I reckon like every time you like go on YouTube, you'd always see like a video of like a shorts about donk or something like that.
Yeah.
I've seen like a lot of times of like the donk slide and everything like that. So I sort of understand why he does it. So he's always moving. So it's not just a standing still target. So I do try and implement that as much as I possibly can. But at the same time, I don't want to overdo it, because if I overdo it, I won't play as well, because I'll be trying to do something too often, I guess, when I'm still in the learning stage.
I'd
That makes
say,
sense.
yeah, I'd say for you, like that, I get what you're saying. I would say for you, if you can continue developing that movement while you're shooting and really getting good at like trying to make it second nature, because if you can learn that at 200 hours to be spraying and kind of crouching and moving and doing these things, shifting back, you're gonna set yourself up for success like later on, bro. It's gonna be so good for you. Also, quick question for you: do you have specific buttons for each of the grenades, or are you scrolling to them?
I actually watched one of your YouTube shorts last night about this, and I have,
Look at that! Look at
because of your
that!
video, I have bounded
Awesome.
certain keys to it just because of your video.
Hey, there you go, guys. Yep, that's awesome. So yeah, 100%. So like, if you do bind them, you might be worse in the short term with it. Like it might feel really unnatural, but dude, like in the long run, like 100% of pres have their nades bound. So it's objectively just like the smart thing to do. It's awesome. I love to hear that, man. One thing I kind of brought this back here because I want you to just another example of using the radar. Our teammates in like through here, right? Our teammates in this position. Your only job is to just hold ramp in this spot, right? So while we're here and while we're on B site, when we're playing away from our teammate like that, just remind yourself, what is my job? What is my job? Glance at your radar. Where's my teammates at? Your only concern right now is this area. And I say that too because like what you're about to do is like we rotate out and we're rotating and just looking this way. If anyone was lurking up this ramp, because he decides to lurk up here, but he just as easily could have decided to lurk up here as well. If anyone's up there, you're just like running away. You have no chance, right? So it's literally as easy as like, okay, we're worried about ramp. We're rotating out. And as we're rotating out, we're moving backwards and moving like that. You see how like we're always looking at the danger. And then when we leave, same thing here. And then we're gone. Now we can like knife out and go to wherever you wanted to go.
Yeah, you do bring a good point there. Like that is a pretty silly thing to do.
Right. And
now
dude,
watching back through it, like it makes a lot more sense to like why. Because there's multiple times where I think I've cleared something and I do look away and I die from there, and it's because of like a silly mistake like that.
Yep. We want to make it as hard as possible for the opponents, and that just goes right in with that. It's like, even if you catch me off, even if you catch me rotating, I'm at least still gonna be looking at you. So you like I have a chance to kill you. Okay, clean it up. And also, by the way, one habit I want you to get into is after these rounds too, run over to the body. Like if you don't have anything to do, run over to the body of the guy you killed at the end of it and see if he has any util, right? The round's over. Like, you know, we've done our job. Maybe he has a flash or a smoke, or, you know, this guy had a glue, but maybe he has an AK or something that we can give to ourselves or give to our teammates. But specifically like for the utility as well. Like it's huge. Because, you know, that might be $300 smoke that you don't have to buy the next round. And again, we can start building that EQ and start getting more and more and more money.
That is actually, that makes sense. I don't know. I've always thought like if you run over someone's body, like they might see it as you being toxic and go and teabag or something like that.
Yeah, nah.
So I just don't do it for that reason. Because I like to be a non-toxic player.
Yeah, and dude, that is great. But no, 100% nope. That's just the strategy of the game. And anyone that would think that you're doing that is just like I'm just being honest. Like anyone that thinks that you are being toxic by running over their body to get like their nades or, you know, whatever, they just don't understand the game at all. Like they, you know what I mean? So like no worries at all. Like you're not gonna make
Yeah.
anyone angry. No one that knows the game will ever think that.
Yeah, especially if I want to play in like the higher rating,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
would already know that what you're doing sort of thing.
100%. Yeah. That and yeah, that's just strategy. And actually, you know, one really cool thing is like if you're on CT side, it's a 1v1. You killed the last guy in the round and there's still like 30 seconds on the bomb or something. What you'll see at a high level is the players will actually run around for a bit. They'll run around going over all the bodies, like looking if for their teammates, if their teammates had a kit or something. Maybe there's an op down, so they're running to see where the op is. And like that literally is like the entire strategy for like, you know, when the round's over like that. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
That's a
makes
good thing
sense.
you can do. Yep.
I do need to start doing that.
Yep. Okay.
I actually do remember this. This was like the worst timing.
Yeah, but you opened it up, right? It sucks. The timing's bad, but like you allowed it to happen because again, it's fine that you're reloading here, right? We're behind cover, but just keep in mind that while you reload, it tells everybody that can hear that reload, hey, this guy that was holding this line, he is now taking cover to reload. If we want to push, we can, right? This is a timing that is gonna happen to you a lot. And a little unlucky there, but I think honestly we would have
I
died.
actually don't know who I died to.
You died to this guy on site that just spammed you back. Where
Yeah,
is he?
right.
Let's see. It's
Oh,
like
this
one
guy
of these
Truth,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he just shot where and he got lucky too. He just kind of shot where the tracers were.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of unlucky that that bullet actually hit you in the head. Hey, we got the op
Yeah,
now.
it
We're
was a
being
bit
versatile
weird.
here. Okay, what's our plan? All right. Little tweak here too. This because I'm an opper, right? Like I've op professionally, so I can give you a lot of tips with this. Optimize everything you're doing. This is fine that you're posting in house, but if you're choosing this specific spot, get as close to this wall. You know, don't make it like a crack where it's a hard shot to hit, but like get closer to this wall so that, you know, when they do run out, when they do this, as soon as we shoot, we can get behind cover. The only thing is like if you start to like kind of put ourselves in the open like this, sure, if you hit the shot, it's great. It's good. But if they double peek you, if they flash you off or something, I want you to be as close to that wall as you can. A lot of times like the angle I like to post on is right here. It's a little tiny bit more passive, but post on this wall. Also, I'll post on this wall here. But again, we're just maximizing it and making sure like we can get to a wall as quickly as possible. Okay, abuse the smoke. That's fine. Also, one tip I will give you. Nice shot. Be careful double scoping. I think that like it's fine, and if you develop that and keep building a skill, it's good. Double scoping can really hurt you at times though, because it also obviously we're super zoomed in, we're close. If someone swings you super wide, or you know, even if they throw a flash that you should be able to see if you were single scoped, when we're double scoped, we miss out on a lot of that information. So just a little note there, like I don't think it's wrong that you're double scoping here, but I definitely think that like if I'm looking at any face level 10 player, a high level player, they're probably just single scoping here for a multiple reasons like that.
Yeah.
They're really only double scoping when they're playing like a super long range angle, like maybe all the way back here to this, or I guess not even. They're usually single scoped here, honestly. And it's actually like some advice that some of the higher level players and coaches I've had over the years have given me, because you know I used to love the double scope, but they're like, man, you're kind of limiting yourself a little bit with it. But yeah, good finds. Good finds, man. I like that you didn't try to rush in here. You have the ops. You decided to just post. That's beautiful, man. That's really good. But yeah, really good impact there.
Now thinking about, I do actually understand like about the double scope thing, because the amount of times thinking back, the amount of times I've been caught like on Dust 2 scoping top
Mm,
mid from CT, and someone's came down from like down
yeah.
tunnels and it
Yep.
just walked through double doors and just smacked me because I wasn't paying attention because I was double
Yep.
scoped in.
Yep. 100%.
With the double scope, I just feel like my reaction time is quicker if I am holding those tighter angles, and
Yeah. Yep.
sometimes it's just force
Yep.
of habit to get into it, which I need to get out of the force of habit.
Yeah, and like don't get me wrong, they're totally is a time and place for it. Just like definitely make sure like we're not like relying on it a little too much, and in situations like, dude, I remember like when I was feeling uncomfortable when I first started opping on team play, I'd even be holding an angle like this and be double scoping on it, and my coach would be like, dude, are you serious right now, man? If they swing you wide because you're so zoomed in, that wide swing is gonna look so fast for you, like terrifying, right? If you're single scope, man, you know, not as much pressure there. This is an angle I mean, like even something like this, I wouldn't mind if you double scope on this, but like I want you like to actively think about things. Like if you decided in this round to put yourself in this position, which is a good like it's a good place to start with the op, dude, you'll make your life so much easier. You're already here. Just scope up, right? Like just scope up in case something like this happens. I get that your teammate's going down here, so maybe it's not like the best start if your teammate's doing this. But if you're gonna put yourself here, just like give yourself a chance to actually get the kill. Because this guy actually peeks you, right? Our teammate cleans it up, but you know, an unlucky bullet here or there, and we actually die. But nice, we're scoping up. We got ourselves some good cover too. Oh, we rotate a bit and allow this timing to happen.
Yeah, that's. I think I rotate too early. I don't wait long enough.
Yeah, I can definitely at least in this round I can agree with that 100%. It just depends, you know. Obviously, like things I'm looking for in the round to actually like hardcore rotate is like, okay, is the bomb out? Is you know in Team CS, but even in pugs, if people are playing like positions, which they're not going to be doing as much here, I'll start to nameplate it, right? So like, say safe was this guy that's like walking up B ramp every round. If like in the mid round I see that safe is gets a kill on like donut or something or A main, I'm like, okay, well the guy that lurks B every single round is now on A. Like, okay, let me go over here and help because like I can take that risk. But yeah, you know, definitely, I definitely can agree. I think I don't need you to stay in the same place. Also, like, you know, before we rotate, maybe we get info, right? We're opping here. Maybe you walk up and do a peek or something, or come back around here. Like we're kind of we're planning on rotating, but we're come back around here and post on ramp to see if we see anything. Okay, we don't see anything, guys. They could still be ramp, but like I'm just taking the risk and going, right? As long as you have like an idea of like, you know, let's try to clear something maybe, or this is open. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. And again, the problem with this round is like, do you see how we're kind of just putting ourselves in like a, like honestly, like kind of like a little bit of a useless position early on. Our teammates
Yeah.
walking down here. He's like all the way down here fighting these guys. Our other teammates in here holding this. And then you're kind of just like looking at both, right? Like we got to get you active, especially with an op, but any gun. Like we got to get you active because now you're posted. Now you're doing this. And this is actually a prime example, by the way. Bad to double scope here because look, if they do boost up here, you're not seeing that at all, right? You're,
Yeah,
you're not seeing that.
100%.
So this is a great example of like when not to double scope, I guess. So this is good, like really good stuff. Yeah, we get flashed off, no worries. Just go post on something else. I'd say too, don't ever post on this wall. And this is actually gonna come into the physics of the game, or like the way, just like, I mean, this is just life too. If you're posted on that wall, it's actually gonna be, if they did lurk up without flash or they got into this position, they're gonna see your gun barrel, regardless if you got like an A1S, an op. If you're gonna get blind and flash off, play these angles with the op. Try to throw your unflash if you're worried, but also just get back and play here. Or up here, op pillar, this entrance if your teammate's not there. Lots of good stuff. And also, like one thing I want you to think about is if you ever feel panic across any map, not just a ancient, but like if you ever feel panic, bro, a really good fallback thing to do is to play with your teammates, no matter where you are. Tether yourself to like other people, especially in the mid round when it's like, you know, a 3v4, whatever, 3v4, 2v2. It's always good to tether yourself to your teammates. Yeah, and then this is just risky. Risky because we don't know where these guys are. We don't know he's here. Now we know he's here. So just keep your gun out and get ready to farm. Because like, you know, like maybe 90-80% of the time the guy isn't there, right? But like when he is, we definitely want to have our op out, or at least our pistol out, so that we can like kill him if he whiffs on us or something.
Yeah. Oh, these teammates that I was actually playing with, they were
Mhm.
actually really good. All of them actually had mics and they were all giving call outs.
Awesome.
So
That's great. That's
so like
that's really good.
it was a really good experience and environment, I guess, because I had one of my teammates, he's been playing from like
Mm,
since Source 1.6 or whatever, like what he was saying. So like
that's
they had
awesome.
a idea and they were a bit like very
Wow. Yeah.
welcoming of the fact
That's
that I'm
awesome.
new. So it was like a really good team compared to every other game I get. Like if I'm following one of my teammates sort of trying to go with him, sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, get a grip, go hold a different angle, don't follow me," sort of thing, and it's just makes it
Right. Yeah.
difficult to
Yeah.
learn when you have
Yeah.
shit teammates.
If people ever start like giving you that abuse, or like, you know, just like not understanding what you're doing, like stuff like that, honestly, bro, I'm gonna say like it is totally worth your mental sanity and just like to just mute them. Don't feel bad about muting somebody
That's
when they're
what I
just
do, to be
like,
honest.
what's up?
That's exactly what I
Yeah,
do, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's awesome. That's great. So really good. Yeah, 100%. Because you're gonna get into a lot of games. And here's the sad thing: I'm gonna tell you something like, "Hey, on Pissed Around, like we want to buy down or we want to do this," but you're gonna get into some games with some players that think they know everything and like don't even understand what they're doing, and they're gonna tell you, "Bro, why aren't you saving money on Pissed Around?" And they're gonna be telling you the exact opposite of what like a high level player would do. So like always take whatever these guys say in your lobbies with a pinch of salt. I mean, even take what I say with a pinch of salt. Everyone's gonna tell you something different. But just keep in mind there's a lot of bad advice at the lower elos. Because I mean I suffered from that, bro. Like I was horrible at this game for thousands of hours. I was awful, and I listen because the only advice I had was the people around me, and they were at the same level as me, and they were telling me a lot of wrong things.
Yeah.
A good thing though that I'm going to tell you that we can learn from, and again, this comes from my experience as an opper. But even if you're rifling here, dude, like think about it. You're holding like the doors, but it enough time has passed with this guy. We don't know if he's coming from ramp side or door side. He could be anywhere, right? He's really reset the situation. Don't expose yourself to all this. Not to mention, like, also this gap is wide open from both of you guys, right? Like, this actually would have been the worst case possible if he came through here. Like, it's really hard, but try to get yourself into a position where you're not necessarily like vulnerable to both these, especially this one because this is a headshot angle, and with the op, it's a really hard shot if he does swing you here. Um, so that is something that you're gonna get punished from if that guy would decide to go to one of these spots. Um,
Yeah.
so it's really hard in this situation because bombs down in this position. I'd say, dude, like there's a lot of wrong things to do here because like this is a lot of different places that he could come from. I'd say it'd be good to double up their teammate and get maybe into like a foothold somewhere, maybe in middle, or maybe just keep in cave here and one person watch this side, the other guy jiggle here. Just kind of wait for to see if he makes any noise on bomb or something. Whatever you do, just make a plan together. And sometimes in pugs and premiere, it can be a little hard to do that. But yeah, definitely, we're just one bad timing away here from dying to this guy. But it looks like our teammate's gonna clean him up. Yeah, those situations are always hard though. 2v1, and there's so many different angles and places the guy could be.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And
It's hard.
yeah, it is very hard. But like I think I sort of do. I do get too impatient at some points, but then
Yeah.
other times I get too focused with holding the one angle that I
Mm,
get oblivious to the possibilities of
yeah.
what they could be doing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Again, one thing I want you to prove: if you want to go for aggressive mid pick, by the way, come up here and jump into this corner and go for it. If you're gonna play passive, never, never, never put yourself here. Because again, this is even worse. And it's the same concept that I was talking about before. You're putting yourself on this wall. If they throw a flash like they did, but we eat it and they actually run out, kill our teammate and stuff, now we have to run all the way back to the spot we just should have been in already. Or if we do decide to stay here and shoot, we have the op. Like we're only good for one shot, right? If they triple swing us or something, we're just gonna go 1 for 1 at best, unless we like collab him or
Yeah,
something.
you're sort of speaking it into existence.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't
Awesome,
remembered this.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, this game was this
yeah,
morning, and it's exactly what
yeah,
happened.
yeah. Exactly.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Great learning opportunity. And also, like, not to mention, like, this is something we really got to worry about too as we get more and more elo. Is dude, the people are gonna run off shelf like this all the time, and it's actually gonna be part of their mid take. Like and it's gonna get really good. They're gonna instantly smoke this off. They're gonna sprint through here. There's gonna be like 4 or 5 flashes coming over mid. They're actually gonna smoke this every time off the rip too. So we always want to be getting behind that cover and just keeping in mind like that timing is open. And it's also gonna allow you in the future to go for picks where like we start here and we just post on the shelf run out, or start in donut just waiting for these kills. So yeah, but the overall bigger picture thing is like exactly what we talked about. Just don't put yourself in corners where you're super exposed. Get yourself behind cover, and give yourself a fallback plan. The beauty of this is even if you whiff 5 shots, you can just run away here and reset yourself, right?
yeah,
So
and not be out in the open like I
yeah,
was.
100%. And this isn't just op, and this is like kind of like every role except maybe entry, but like a lot of people like I'm talking to like face level 10s and stuff, they think the job of the opper is to get kills. And while they're not completely wrong with that, honestly, when you have the op, your job is to stay alive. Deaths is actually the most important thing with you. How easily are you giving up the kills? How often are you dying with the op, right? If we can float around and give ourselves a chance to completely miss shots over and over and over, we are winning, man. We're playing so good. Yeah, and this impatience
Yeah,
actually gets you killed here too.
yeah.
Yep.
Another thing with this, so I don't know the call outs
Yeah.
with this map especially, and someone
Mm-hmm.
was saying, "Oh, he's coming red, he's coming red,"
Mm-hmm.
and I do that,
Yep.
and
This room.
then like I go to like re-swing it,
Yeah, I
and then I
gotcha.
die, and he was like, "Man, I literally told you he's red. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know what red is. You could
Yeah,
elaborate.
yeah, gotcha. Yep.
You
Yep.
could tell me that he's coming towards me, like you were spectating me."
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And those things will happen, man. Especially when you're so new to the game. Like I'm sure that will happen like a lot to you, honestly. Because bro, even me. Sometimes someone will call out something, and I'm like, bro, what? And I have 15,000 hours in the game, right? And they'll just say a call out, and I'm like, I've not heard someone say that before. Um.
Yeah, like I've heard a lot of stuff, especially on Nuke.
Yeah.
Nuke is where like I've heard like I don't know exactly what the correct call out is, but it's a sort of like mini garage thing next to vent, like where like
Yeah.
there's
Yep.
squeaky,
Yep.
then the vent, and then there's
Mm.
that mini garage.
Yep.
I've heard people call it so many different things. It's
Mm. Yep.
just ridiculous. Like I've heard it be called vent, garage, mini,
Yeah.
fucking multiple things. It's just
Well,
yeah,
you know why
so
too?
difficult to keep up with them all.
It goes back to also what I was telling you earlier, where it's like a lot of times too, man, honestly, they're making a mistake. They're calling it a different call because like they don't understand they're doing that wrong. So then it confuses you even more, and you're like, is it actually called that, or is it like? And then so like you might copy that, and you might start saying that in your games, and people are like, bro, like what are you talking about, man? Right? So again, it does just come down to the unfortunate thing of like learning from our peers. Sometimes like they're actually doing something wrong too. Um, so like one advice I will give you though is like if you do ever see someone super talented in your game or like they're popping off doing all these things, dude, I mean, you seem like a really nice guy. Like ask as many questions of that person as possible, or add them on Steam and like just soak in as much of that knowledge that they can give you as possible. And maybe maybe you're lucky enough they actually want to play with you. Yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
started getting
I
better.
try and talk to like my
Mm.
teammates. Like I'm usually always the first person to say something when I load
That's
into a
awesome.
game.
Yeah, really positive. Really positive.
Yeah, how I see it is it's a team game. There's no point playing it if you're not gonna play as a team.
That's a great mindset, bro. Love that. Yeah.
Like yesterday, I could even get you the game if you want to watch it. I was playing with one of my friends I've never played CS with before.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I'm playing with him, he was just being an absolute idiot, being a
Uh,
troll, team
yeah.
killing and shit. And one of our team literally threw the first 2 rounds because my mate, he's not my mate, like someone that I met was in like another mate's Discord sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He, we won the first round, well, we were going to, and while our other teammate was defusing, he decides to shoot them in the head and not defuse it. And then that
Yeah.
just caused a whole spiral.
Yeah.
Second round, our team was killing each other, and it just, yeah,
Yeah, that
went down a
sucks.
spiral. And I tried to just be positive. I was like, come on, let's not fall into the immature shit. Let's just play as a team, win the game. And then our teammates were just that toxic. They were like, oh,
Right. Yeah.
start start speaking when you get some damage, sort of thing. And yeah, it just had
Yeah.
a whole spiral of just bad effects.
That does suck. Yep. And that's like good that you have a positive mindset though, because like at the end of the day, man, you can only control you. Like you can only control so much. You can provide that positive energy, you can do that kind of stuff, but it's up to them if they're going to accept that or not, right? And that's why like I told you earlier, like sometimes when I got people that are just so unbelievably nasty, so unbelievably like toxic, angry, I just mute them. I continue giving callouts. Even if I have to mute the whole team because maybe it's a 4 stack that's like that or something. I still give callouts, I still do my thing and just like drop teammates, do stuff, but I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear like that toxicity, all that stuff nonstop. For
Yeah,
for sure, it's a good thing to be able to do.
it's annoying that the community has that
Yeah,
like sort of ego toxicity
it
towards it, but
does. Yeah, it
at the
does
end of
suck.
the day, it is what it is. You can't really change it.
Nope, that's right. But yep. Now we know though, like this is red room. You'll see people call this red room. Maybe they call this. It's red room and house. Like you can say either one. I call it house. A lot of the pros call it red house. Like also when a lot of people are calling stuff out at a high level, they try to make it as little syllables as possible. So that's why a lot of things are really easy to say and really short. You know, I guess that's funny. I say that, but then this is called donut, which is 2 syllables, which is
Yeah,
so
I know that
fast.
that's donut.
This is
The only
temple,
reason of why I know it's donut is because it's
big
the word
box.
donut, and it like is pretty
Yeah,
much the
right.
shape of a donut.
That's an easy
It's
one to
so
remember.
easy.
I just call this. I call this one short. Where you're going right now, I call it long. Uh,
Yeah, that's roughly what I call them as well.
we call this
That's
cave, and
cave, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
and then this one cheetah. We call this cheetah because of the pictures on the wall.
makes sense. I've not heard it be called cheetah. People have still been calling that cave, but
Yeah,
I
it's
at the
pretty
same time I am
interchangeable.
in low rankings, so
Yeah. And the reason we differentiate it, like, and that's totally true, because like even at my level, like sometimes I'll do it, or sometimes people just say cave, um, because like you would say like, oh, one's cave, and your teammate would be thinking like, oh, maybe he's talking about this, but really you just didn't know the call, and you like knew one was in here. So people started to differentiate, so that's easier to understand exactly like where people are, obviously. So
yeah.
yeah, it's not the most important thing, but definitely like something you can think about and implement. Okay, again,
I did
yeah.
I did notice one thing that like with yesterday.
Hmm.
So I got into one game where the whole other team was like 10k rating above, and I had like 12k on my team and like
Yeah.
3 unrated. I think they were all around about like the 10k rating though,
Hmm.
but I could tell like it was just a completely different like level straight away because of the callouts. Because people were actually giving proper callouts, they were communicating and everything, and the game was just going so much more fluent than what I'm
Oh,
used to
100%. Yep.
getting with like the 5k ratings and everything.
And that's a good
Like
game to like download for yourself and just see what like some of the higher skill players are doing.
yeah, I do enjoy versing the higher ratings
Mm.
though because with that I actually learn from my mistakes a lot. It's not just like
Yeah.
I'm versing people that are pretty bad, so I'm able to get away with doing bad things.
100%. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. This is just one thing we're gonna train over time for yourself. Like just like again, reading the radar, seeing our teammate ran through here. Sure, maybe someone is in here, so like that's fine. The bigger priority is obviously like middle. So we're gonna get you really good at like when we swing into these danger areas, your crosshair is naturally gonna be kind of where they might be. You're never gonna be perfect because we don't have wall hacks, we don't know where people are. But while you develop that game sense, a lot of it comes with just putting your crosshair in these common places before we peek it, or around the corner. Because like what happened was obviously we just swing mid and our crosshair is kind of looking up here, and then it makes it really hard for us to adjust. Yeah, again, you don't need to jump through that.
Yeah,
It's just
that
yeah,
was terrible.
just throw
Even
it
the
here.
teammates said it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Now we know. Now we know. Yeah, and so like, dude, watch how hard from his perspective, because you're kind of getting that movement in there and you're being very active. It's something I want you to continue to develop, because like you're very good at it for your hours now, but we're gonna keep getting it better and better and better. But like, watch this. At first, easy, bro. Like it's so easy for him to shoot you there, right? You see that? But then you start moving. Look how his crosshair is constantly trying to follow you back and forth. Back, he can't hit you, right? Your next step is gonna be doing that. We're swinging, we're shooting, and then crouching and moving back towards cover. Um, to continue being accurate and kind of allow us a little better spray control and stuff. Nice, good find. Because even right there, I like it. You're really starting to develop this stuff, man. You're really starting to develop. Even right here, you swing this guy, and he kind of swings you. Your instant reaction is to crouch. Let's see, do we actually move it all? Okay, gotta play it. No, yeah, we kind of sit there and do it mostly still, but yeah, dude, that's like your next evolution. I love it. Love it that you're already watching those videos. You're already getting those concepts down. It's huge. You know what to do here if you ever see an AFK like this?
What do I do?
You knife them, because it gets you more money. You get $1,500 for doing that. Not that it matters. Like
Wait, what?
yeah, this is the end of the half, so it doesn't matter. But like if say there is an AK at
Like for reference, yeah.
yeah, like at 4-0 or something, bro. Yeah, the op gives you $100 for every kill. Certain rifles give you $300. Certain SMGs give you 600. Shotguns give you 900. Pistols give you 300, I believe, and knife gives you either 1,200 or 1,500. So like
Holy, I
yeah,
never knew that.
yeah. So that's
That's
why
actually
like
such a big difference.
yeah, dude, exactly. So like on Pistron, if anyone ever gets like one or two
Yeah.
knife kills, dude, sometimes they're instantly getting that up, and it's a little troll sometimes, but dude, it's huge for you. And again, same mistake here on T side. We're never saving on Pistron, never.
Yeah.
Just because of how important it is. And I'll just reiterate, like Pistron is so important because it either gives us that economy for the next rounds and it gives us some free rounds because when we win Pistron, we've got SMGs, all this good stuff, AKs, Galils, and we're going to be facing off against pistols or MP9s. It's huge. And right here,
Well,
boom.
yeah. Mm,
Got to clear both of these.
that's pretty bad.
Yep, that's okay. I'd say honestly, bro, like I'm not even mad like that you didn't clear it. I'm a little sad like with like the entire strat here. And this isn't just you, this is the whole team. I don't really know what the plan was. If you remember, do you know what the call was or anything?
Um, I don't.
Yeah,
This game, like we did have comms going, but it wasn't like full comms.
gotcha. Okay.
Which guy was it on my team? There was one of them. I think it was Yellow.
Okay.
He played a game that I also yeah, like he was like like genuinely his name, like such a
Hmm.
chill guy. But
Gotcha.
like we were just like even the whole team, we were just having conversations while coming, and it was like just a real good
Yeah,
sort of
gotcha.
environment.
Awesome.
It wasn't like full serious, but it was still serious. So we were just doing our thing, sort of just playing
Yeah,
and having
awesome.
conversations. Like we were talking about a different game, so it wasn't full just like set game plan.
Yeah, I just asked because like unless there was like a specific reason, it's just really bad when we're solo to even do this because like we're all by ourselves. Any setup they're in a mid, they're just gonna be taking at worst, like literally at worst, a 50-50 fight. And again, while we're by ourselves, these fights are actually awful too because the USP is so good at long range, right? It'll one shot you in the head versus you have to headshot them and also hit them a few more times. Also, when you don't buy armor, by the way, bro, you get aim punched. Are you familiar with what aim punch is?
I have no clue what aim punch
Yeah.
is.
Okay. So in Counter Strike, when you don't have armor, and you might have like noticed this before, if you get shot in the chest with any gun, the chest, the shoulders, anything, your screen starts to flick up like this. Like you start to like get punched into the sky a little bit.
Oh, so like
Yeah. Yep.
that's happened to me so many
Yep.
times. Like that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%, bro. So that's also why like armor is so necessary on pistol round because like you're gonna take more damage by the way, which is obvious. Like you're gonna die to like 4 shots in the chest versus if they have a USP like 6 to 8 shots, maybe 7 shots. So for so many reasons, like that armor honestly is so important on pistol round. But yeah, the strat's just bad because at worst you're taking a 50-50 and it's just not really like worth it, I guess, to be here by yourself. And if you are gonna be by yourself, by the way, it'd be good to lurk here. Let your teammates do their strat and have the numbers and like run together. And you're being really lurky and like doing your thing, right? Kind of what your teammate's doing. He could be doing it a little better. But you're kind of just trying to flank them then off of the contact of these guys. But nice find
Yeah.
though. We pick up that kill, even though obviously we can clear
I
it.
don't know how I picked up that
Yeah.
kill. I shouldn't
Oh,
have.
ooh, look at you, man. Look at you. Again, have the awareness, right? If we killed one person here, right, and our entire team has taken B, be so careful swinging into this area. There's probably more guys here, right? I don't know if this guy's AFK, but like we killed
He
him
was
here.
okay.
Like this guy should honestly be already rotating and doing stuff. So, definitely one bad habit like that we can fix for you is just remind yourself, keep my gun out, and remember the danger areas. We don't know what's this info is, right? Like we've cleared all of house, we cleared all of B, but like donuts wide open, someone could be flanking us. All of the spawn area and A is wide open. They could be anywhere in here, right? And that's gonna come with time too, like of like understanding what is the danger area. But until you completely develop that, it's really easy. Just like prepare yourself for anything, right? And especially at your level, like what you just did is gonna happen a lot. Like say you guys were rushing through house, it's always good, by the way, too, to just clear the angles that you think your teammates might have cleared because at your level too, a lot of people won't clear these spots, right? So you'll get some easy kills on people that are trying to make a sneaky play because the first guy didn't clear them. Also, by the way, for the future too, um, I'll tell you exactly when you should have your gun out here. Knife out's fine. Knife out's fine. Okay, right here. Have your gun out because this guy, if he decided to run down mid but peek shelf instead, this is where he's gonna start being able to jump up and fight you. So right here you should have your gun out, but the even bigger sin is jumping into this angle without your gun. If anyone started
Yeah.
here, anybody, you are just feeding them a free kill, right? And also, look, this is, I want you to get really good at this. We see this info here. We see this guy is running here. We didn't have our gun out. Unlucky. It's whatever. But what you've got to do is then communicate to your teammates. And I don't know if you were, you weren't, but like you got to be communicating to your teammates like, bro, I saw one down mid. And even if you didn't see him, your radar definitely showed that a guy was here. Your radar definitely like popped up with a dot that you saw him. And that goes on all your teammates' screen, by the way. Like obviously, like if you see somebody, it shows up on all your teammates as well. Yeah, and dude, that's so funny. Exactly what happened here. Your teammates run on the site, and we don't actually properly clear it, so we're all gonna get punished for it. Anytime there's a smoke down on
Yeah.
a site anywhere, you don't have to go crazy about it. Like you don't have to sit out here and just start spamming it down. But in your mind, just understand, like someone could be in here, right? So when that happens, I'm not planting the bomb in here. I'm not doing that. I'm kind of just waiting the smoke out, and then we do whatever we're trying to do. But yeah, like this is honestly like kind of your teammates' faults. But again, if you want to develop yourself as an individual player, it's like we run out here, just check things out. What's going? Oh, there's a smoke here, guys. Yo, nobody cleared this. No, literally nobody was here, checking that,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, okay, guys, like we got to do our job. Okay, we're rushing B. And also like it sucks that your teammates are throwing the smoke here. You guys should be throwing a smoke into cave or smoking offshore or smoking off here, by the way. Like that should be kind of the
Yeah.
things you're smoking. Or long too. Like long smoke is fine. Good. But never smoke side. This is just helping the CTs. It's just creating chaos.
Yeah. It sort of messed me up a little bit here.
Yep. Okay, good double. Yep, and just crosshair placement because even though like it doesn't matter, right? I want you naturally, even when nobody's fighting you, nobody's doing anything, get your crosshair at least chest level, but hopefully head level, right? Because when we're running around with our crosshair down in the ground like this, one, it's gonna make you look like a newer player, which I mean you are, right? Like you are a newer player. It's gonna make you look worse, right? It's gonna make you start putting your crosshair up so that you start to build that good crosshair placement for when you actually are taking fights.
Yeah.
Get that crosshair off the ground, and it's gonna help you out so much. And people are gonna be like, "Dang,
Yeah.
bro, this guy looks good."
I don't know why. In my mind, I try to do it, but then after like just playing for a little bit, it just goes back
Yeah,
down to being like down
yep,
like floor height, whatever, and then I remember about it, then I get back to it, and it's
mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a bad cycle that I need to get out of.
Yep. And you're gonna develop,
Like
man. You're gonna
here I'm
develop
doing
it.
it right now. It's just like yeah,
Yep.
it's a bit silly.
Also, whenever we do crosshair, by the way, this is priority. Okay, shelf is priority until we get to this area, and then actually, like our danger area is this because this is like a high, like traffic area for CTs. CTs love to be in here. They love to swing this area, right? So never get into the habit of like peeking here without seeing that. Also, you never have to if you run off spawn, you never will have to clear this. By the way, they can't be up here in time. They'll be getting like up here, and you'll see them by the time they're trying to get into that corner. So just a few little tips for you.
Nice to know.
Yeah, I do like that you're like it was a little late, but like I like that we were dropping bomb. I'd say honestly just drop bomb out here. Just try to recognize that as soon as you can. And if you're making an aggressive entry play, but I do love that you decided like, okay, look, I have bomb. I'm not gonna just run in mid with it. I like that you recognize that. Really good
Yeah,
stuff.
I need to. Sometimes I just completely forget to look at what I
Mhm.
already have, and like I'll be like going towards the site, and I'll be like, oh, I don't have a smoke, or I don't have something because I just
Yep.
forgot to check. Because this is like the first sort of game that I've played where I've had to do anything like this.
Yeah.
It's yeah, completely different game.
100%.
what I've played before.
100%. Little bonus tip for you too here. Think about this. This is going to change. This like situation is going to change depending on what map you're on, what's happening. But we are always when we have bomb thinking where are our teammates and kind of where did they clear. Now it does suck because they did just clear ramp and run up here, but that's where's our teammates come in because this guy also just cleared spawn. So if they're both playing out here, playing for this, just come out here and plant for like them, plant for them, because also when you're coming out here, while this is the default spot to plant, like we're not actually like playing for it, right? So if they've already cleared that side, just come out here, do that, because you came from here too. You can go back into cave and play from these angles, and you're not going to get caught out as much like you will here. Again, this sucks, and like a lot of this was the timings that your teammates gave up. But again, you put yourself into that position to be killed like that.
Yeah, if I thought about it,
Yep, just think about
I had
where can I be covered
in a
from?
different spot.
Yep, where can I be covered from? Where's the danger? But yeah, like even in spawn here, like I want you to get your crosshair up and just like, get, and also like I'm scanning, by the way, too. Like while I'm running and doing these things, I'm scanning the radar. I'm scanning here to see like, okay, what util do we have? We're running out A. All right, what ideas can we build here, right? What ideas can we build? Like, how can we go about this? Also, like buy a smoke and molly before decoy.
Yeah, I didn't buy the decoy. That must I
Gotcha. Okay,
must have
okay,
picked that up or
awesome.
something.
Okay,
I never buy the decoy. That's what I
good.
mean. Like, I don't check that stuff before I go
Yeah,
out, and then I
yep,
go out. I'm
yep.
like, oh, I don't have that sort of thing.
There
Like,
you go.
yeah, it's a very
Yep.
bad habit.
There you go.
I
Well, hey,
don't. I,
dude, half the battle
I
is
don't even have the
recognizing it.
decoy bounded.
Yeah, there you go. You don't have decoy bounded.
Nah,
That's
I don't
do
know.
you?
I personally don't see a
Yeah,
use for it for like my play style. But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and because I've never seen, I've never seen like in the pro scene or anything people use a decoy unless if I'm just not paying attention enough attention or anything. That's just my personal thought on it. Like it could be very useful, like for reasons I don't know of.
No, no, I totally agree with you. And most of the time, I don't want you to worry about decoys right now. When we get you like, face at level 10, like all this stuff, like I'll be like, hey, bro, like, let's think of some like 200 IQ ways to use it. I say that because like if you ever do get it in your inventory, we need to have a way for you to either scroll to it at least or have the button to just chuck it out. I don't care if it's like a button all the way on the other side of your keyboard, but like if your teammates have it or you pick it up from the enemy, we have to be able to get it out of our inventory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like if we don't have it bound and there's no way to get to it, it's gonna hurt us because we can't, maybe we can't buy that smoke or pick up the smoke on the ground because our inventory is full or something, right?
Yeah. Well, like I can scroll
Awesome.
to
Okay.
it. Like
Yeah.
I don't have like a specific
Yeah.
key
Okay.
bounded to
Gotcha.
it, but I can scroll to it.
No, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, definitely. I'm glad you pick up on the habit though that you have the bad one where it's like I'm not looking at what I have in spawn and like how to get rid of it or like what I need to fill.